Hi guys, and welcome to KRYPTON Reviews and to this episode of Judging by the Trailer. So I missed to react to KRYPTON when it came out. Now I want to do that. I haven't seen the trailer, that's why I'm doing this, and also because I want to talk about something around KRYPTON and another show that was just announced by DC, Metropolis. But let's just go through the trailer and talk about the two shows.
The story of my family is one of triumph and sacrifice. How we led a revolution against tyranny. And now it falls on my shoulders to save my world.
Someone from the future is coming to destroy KRYPTON. Because where I'm from, your grandson becomes the greatest hero of the universe.
The story of my family isn't about how we died. It's about how we lived.
Okay. What do you think about this? Well, first of all, DC decided, as we all know, to separate the movie universe from the TV universe, but now this is counting like a Man of Steel prequel story, and it's so freaking cheap. I mean, that is the problem with TV shows being connected to the movie universe in the first place. Everything's gonna look a lot more cheaper than what we see from the movies, which is a problem because this doesn't, look like it's supposed to be related to the movies unless you count the logo design. And what about the terrible acting that we see and the terrible costume design and the terrible cloth even of the cape? Just look at that.
Your grandson becomes the greatest hero of the universe.
Yeah, he's giving him a cape that has nothing to do with Man of Steel or Batman v Superman or the Superman that we now have in the movie universe. Nothing to do with him. Unless, Superman in the future that we still don't know about got a very cheap cape out of Walmart. And this guy, he's overacting so badly. I mean, he's handsome enough, let's say, to be, Superman's grandfather. I agree with that part, but he looks extremely inexperienced in how he portrays everything, at least from what I saw from this trailer, the first one, and the acting of everything actually makes this look even cheaper. What are we gonna even watch, guys, in this show? We are up for something that will probably have no powers. Like no powers, maybe that's the point. Maybe they're gonna show us how, House of L is very determined, very driven, very brave to protect their legacy, their family name, their planet, their people. So even without powers, they're resilient, they're strong and everything. Okay, I can get behind that. But that leads me to the next point that I wanted to make. The topic of this video, not only the trailer reaction, but the main thing that I wanted to talk about, you guys, is that do we need a show about Superman without Superman? And now, not only that I think that we don't need two shows about Superman without Superman, but now we'll have two of them, which is absolutely ridiculous. So now DC announced Metropolis, which is going to be about the journeys and investigations of Lois Lane and Lex Luthor before Superman appeared. I mean, guys, it's just terrible. Not only that I had to suffer through Smallville for all of these years, watching Quark being miserable, watching him not be able to blow to a little piece of kryptonite so he can move it, so he can get away from there. He couldn't even move, for goodness sakes. Chloe and the rest of the crew, Lois, had to save his butt numerous of times. Not only that he reached above 30 and still didn't fly, and at the end of the episode, Tom Welling even refused to wear the freaking costume, which was basically the costume from Superman Returns. I'm pretty sure that's the same one. I really want to know if it's the same one, but it looked like it. As far as I remember it, it looked like the same costume. The logo was small, the texture, and the CGI of Tom Welling saving Lois or showing himself to Lois from the plane. I can't quite recall right now, but the point is that I can only imagine how people feel watching for 10 years a show waiting for Superman to become Superman, and he does for 2 seconds and not even get to see him. He's always hiding himself, so to speak. Never got the payoff that we deserve. I wanted actually to say that the rest of the world probably that watched the show from the beginning watched this for 10 years. I only heard of the show for the first 6 years, and then I got my hands on it. We got to more modern times, so to speak, and I saw it, and then I started watching it with America, like the last few seasons. I caught up to the show, so I only had to wait for him to become Superman. I don't know, maybe 3-5 years? I don't remember really now. Again, the point is that was a torture, and the endless times that he was super weak and ridiculous were so many. And the show overall was good, guys, don't get me wrong, it was interesting, but he was ridiculously underpowered by the point where he was no longer Superman. Even when Supergirl came in, she flew like the first day, saved his ass again, was able to learn how to fly, how to use her powers a lot freaking quicker than Quark, and Quark was basically here on Earth since he was a baby, but he was having so much trouble facing villains and using his powers, and the whole thing was a bunch of fears through the years, and I get why he will have some of those, but he was not the strong and driven hero. He was not Superman at all to me, at all. So weak. I don't love Superman, and he's my favorite superhero, by the way, and I don't love him for being weak. I love him because he's the first superhero ever, and he is the strongest superhero ever, arguably. So I don't want to watch that. And then, guys, we got Superman for few episodes of Supergirl. Again, underpowered, and she kicked his ass, which I'm not saying that is not possible, but I do think that he's underpowered in a lot of other ways as well. But here, guys, we're gonna have a show now with Lois and Lex Luthor that is gonna be or not gonna be connected to Supergirl universe. Probably not, or it's going to be completely separate from this universe of Krypton and Man of Steel. What the heck? I mean, DC, I love you guys, but this is a complete mess. It's a mess, And right now I'm playing Injustice 2, if you haven't watched my streams, and I'm freaking enjoying the game, and what they did there as a story, it's freaking amazing. How they did Brainiac as a villain. This is the most menacing Brainiac that I've ever seen in my life. He's one of the best villains that I've seen in a while. He's truly intelligent, he's truly menacing, and it's a villain. It's a villain that is better than all the villains that I've seen the last few movies, you can say, all the Marvel movies. He's the better villain in all the DC movies. Not sure about General Zod because I really love General Zod from Man of Steel. But yes, he should be better because he's a lot more intelligent as well. How he is sitting on his throne, how he's speaking. You're getting a full background story and idea of who is he and what is he capable of. And that is how very good characters and villains are written. Just by a few words, and you're pretty sure what they're capable of, their abilities, their strengths. You have the whole picture of this character, and you freaking know in your core that this is a very, very good villain. And that is a writing that you rarely see these days. These days they just don't know how to write villains and even some characters. It's just a real pity. I mean, I like a lot of characters actually. Let's get back to Krypton and the other show. This is freaking terrible. They're trying to escape Superman and to not show him on screen as much as humanly possible. So We have this hero that's the first hero ever created in the comic book, and they're trying, and the people want to see him on screen. We haven't had a decent show, about Superman since Lois and Clark. And when was that? In the freaking 90s, and I didn't even see it back then because I was like freaking under the table, but I saw it like years later in the 2000s, and it was very, very good show for its time, and it captured like the spirit of Superman and Lois and Clark's relationship. But since then, nobody dared to do a Superman show. Like, they did a Supergirl show, again escaping doing a Superman show. And I don't have anything against doing a Supergirl show because she deserves coverage too. We haven't had anything about Supergirl since, 20-something years? 30? I have no idea when was the first movie, never saw it. It was way before my time. Point is that that's even longer time. So yes, I do think that we should have a Supergirl show, and I love Melissa Benoist in the role. I just don't love the show. Lately I've missed almost the whole new season now because it's so lame in the storytelling department. Sometimes I just feel that I'm watching a kids show. It's so ridiculously naive. There's so many things that it does with its characters, with Supergirl. I'm just watching a show that only a kid will believe. Some of the things that are happening, just I'm like, whoa, mind blown. This is like for 2-year-olds, so what the heck? No sophisticating writing, no sophisticating storytelling or anything like that. Have to catch up with it. Maybe it's gotten better, but I doubt it. But as always, no prejudice. I'm just gonna continue watching it as soon as I have the time. But if it's still the same quality, guys, I'm really gonna be sad about this. Because Superman, Supergirl, those are, two of my most favorite, and Superman being my most favorite superhero ever, guys. Then it's Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, and of course Wonder Woman, probably my second favorite superhero. So I just hate that. I hated that since I saw Smallville, again escaping and trying to move on from Superman, but trying to tell a story about Superman. So that's ridiculous. Now we have even more ridiculous show telling a story about Krypton, which we'll see people with no freaking powers there, and I see how they're gonna connect to this time. But I mean, how many seasons they think this is gonna take to tell a story that, pretty much nobody cares about? Everybody are gonna be weak, they're not gonna have powers. Maybe something will happen, somebody's gonna be exposed to some kind of a red sun energy somewhere from some kind of a device, who knows? I mean, there are possibilities here, but again, it's so disrespectful, I feel, to Superman as a character to always try to get away from him. Then the other show, I mean, what are we gonna watch? Lois investigating with Lex, a bunch of criminal things probably going on in Metropolis. Why? I mean, you can just watch CSI Miami or something else. You can just watch how maybe Lois is trying to investigate Superman himself before he actually becomes Superman. Maybe we're gonna watch their interaction from afar, from a window, like from the cornfield of Smallville, just around, his house, because maybe, just maybe, she has some kind of idea. But then when he actually comes out as Superman, she's gonna be like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? Oh boy. Oh, the glasses, I cannot tell. So, so guys, I'm just baffled. And I'm just asking why? Just get a grip, sit on your butts, DC and Warner Brothers, and think of how we can have a Superman show. Damn it. And all of those times in Supergirl also, when Superman is clearly needed, he's clearly, supposed to be there. But no, he's not. He's freaking not. So it's ridiculous, and I just hate that Superman, avoiding. The hashtag Superman avoiding or something like that should be created so we can express in a way how ridiculous this is. And I just hate how Superman is treated once again. Yeah, I just wish we can get, for once, Superman done right, on the TV scene. On the movie scene, I don't have a problem with Superman. I just don't. I liked how Zack Snyder did Man of Steel. I think that this is a lot more realistic take on Superman, how things will be if he actually was here on Earth, or how kids treated him, and all of that from Man of Steel made total sense to me. And I really like his interactions with the Flash. It was so cool, the comedy there, how he flew with this whole building, saving everybody in the building, and the Flash, you know, saving the family in the car. It was so interesting, the contrast between the two in that moment. Of course, Flash didn't have, you know, little to none experience in these things. But that wasn't the point. The point is that Superman knew what to do, he did it, he had his things together, you can say, and it was a great meetup with the Flash, and in that moment the Flash knew who Superman is and what he is capable of. That spoke a lot about Superman. So I don't have again anything against the movie Superman, only his chest hair that is popping out of his costume, which I said numerous times that I hate because it's just disgusting, not aesthetically pleasing, and not logical in any kind of a way for me, because he's a Kryptonian, he's not even human, and putting chest hair on him or not is just a stylistic choice that is not actually supported to me by logic and by aesthetics, especially when, you know, we saw that scene in Justice League where he was trying to kill everybody basically, and the Flash tried to flank him, and we got a very close shot of his chest hair. That was extremely disgusting, and even some of my guy friends that work out and appreciate the human body and how you can build your body, you know, aesthetically pleasing and healthy, and when they saw that, you know, with the chest hair, they were like, Superman and those chest hair, that was really ugly to see. That was not cool at all. So disgusting. It was like so close to his neck as well. So they also agree that this is absolutely not appropriate for Superman, for the superhero, even. So many reasons. But again, that's the only real problem that I have, the aesthetics, you know, the body hair of Superman. That's the only thing. But I can rant about that all night. I have to leave you guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know what you think about KRYPTON, Metropolis, those new shows. Are you gonna watch them? Just let's share down below, guys. And if you'd like to support me, you can check out the links down below. Share and subscribe to help me out of this YouTube crisis. And till next time, guys, with me, Gary G Reviews, and of course, judging by the trailer.